Hi BookTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter, and welcome to part 1 of my digital bookshelf tour. Part 1 of, I think, 7,982, maybe? I don't know. I have a lot of books digitally. You guys know I have a lot of books physically, but this much dwarfs the amount of books I own digitally. I love reading digitally, and I had started doing this back last fall. I was doing a Kindle bookshelf tour, and I had gotten the idea from Lindsay over at Lindsay's Little Library, because she was doing one as well. And I wanted to, and then I stopped doing them because, for whatever reason, I think because the holidays came and stuff like that. So anyway, I had planned on restarting them in February, but then, of course, as you guys know, March turned into a bit of a not so great time for me with ending up in hospital and things like that. So I did not get these videos done, but I want to start them now. So my goal is to put one of these out every Friday. And I just thought that they would be a lot of fun, kind of a way to show you guys what I have on my devices, you know, a look back at some older books. I just thought that this would be a lot of fun. So instead of just doing strictly just stuff that I have on the Kindle, I thought I would look at 4 different, my 3 main devices that I use to read off of. My Kindle, my Kobo, and my Glowsap from Harlequin. And then as well, look at some of the audiobooks that I own. So every week I'm going to do 5 from each. So it'll be 5 books from my Kindle. And just for reference, in case you guys are curious how long these videos could potentially go on for, I have over 1,600 books on my Kindle. On my Kobo, again, 5 from my Kobo every week. And for reference, this is slightly newer. I bought this device I think I got my Kobo around Christmas of 2020. So I only have I have something like 300 books on this. And I do have audiobooks on this. Not on this device. You need to download the Kobo app to listen to their audiobooks, but I will talk about their audiobooks that I have purchased when I get to them. Again, I think I mentioned I started this video twice now. All the books I'm going to talk about are going to be in order that I purchased them. And last but not least, this is actually my Kindle Fire, but I do have the Glowsap, whoopsie daisies, the Glowsap on my Kindle Fire, so that's why I'm holding this up. And I would have to say close to 1,000 books on my Glowsap. So, like I said, if I'm doing 20 books, plus I probably own somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 audiobooks, like between the few that I have on the Kobo app, between the ones that I own on Audible, and between the ones I now own on this service called Chirp. So out of curiosity, let's just do a bit of math, and let's say we do 20 per week. We're looking at 160 weeks, you guys. A little over 3 years. So my channel will be around for another 3 years just so we can get through all of these books. There's something to look forward to, everybody. So I rambled enough. I'm not going to share a ton about what these books are about unless I do know. But I just thought, again, that I would share these with you guys, kind of, you know, some older books, highlighting some older books. I thought that this would be a lot of fun. So let's jump into it. We'll start out with what I have on the Kindle. So the first book I want to share with you is Island Girls by Nancy Thayer. I read this book already. I can't remember when. It was a number of years ago. But this is a classic Nancy Thayer book. If you've read her stuff, you know, she does these beachy women's fiction books. They come out she brings one out every year. Very similar to Mary Kay Andrews, but Mary Kay Andrews' books tend to have a bit more of a mystery to them, whereas Nancy Thayer's are a bit more of a women's fiction novel. I do remember enjoying this one. I believe it's about 2 friends who knew each other when they were children, and then it's kind of a now and then scenario. Really fun. If you're looking for a fun beachy read, you can't go wrong with Nancy Thayer. The next one is a Harlequin historical. It is Marriage Made Money by Sophia James. This is book 1 in the Penniless Lord series, Harlequin historical number 1217. Yes, I will be mentioning what Harlequin number it is because you guys know I really promote the Harlequin category romances on my channel and want to share all that info with you. This one was originally published in January of 2015. I have read it. Essentially, it's marriage of convenience stories. about women who have money and the lords who do not and need to marry for money because they need to upkeep the castle or what have you. So for those of you who listen to the Categorically Romance podcast that me, Bree, and Aaron all host, we do a book club. And every month what we're going to be doing is kind of like a theme. So each of us is going to read a different book, and I think it'll be a lot of fun when we come to the table together to discuss these books, like how we took that theme and each interpreted, yeah, that's a word, it differently. So for the month of June, because June is like wedding month, it's going to be like weddings, marriages of convenience, you know, stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, this book would definitely fit that prompt. The next one I have here is Beyond the Sea by JoAnn Ross. This is book 7 in the Shelter Bay series. I have not read this book. I don't know anything about this book. 9 times out of 10 with these, I probably bought it on sale. So it's a contemporary romance book. I am familiar with this author. I think I've read her before. But yeah, I've got this one. The next one is another book that I have read, and that is The Blue by Lucy Clark. I have mentioned this book quite a bit. It's a bit obscure. This book was so good. For those of you participating in March Mystery Madness and you're looking for something thriller-esque to read, please pick up this book. It was so good. So it's about these two girls who decide to travel like in Indonesia, I guess, and they end up joining this crew on this boat of people they don't know. Someone ends up getting murdered. Totally creepy. Really, really good. Highly recommend. And last but not least for the Kindle, this is, okay, so I'm going to show you guys 2 covers. So the first cover I'm presenting to you here is the original cover. This is Cowboy Daddy by Susan Mallery. It is Silhouette Special Edition number 898, and it's from July of 94. So it is a bit of an older book, but as you guys can see, that's the original cover. Now I'm going to flash up the new cover. So this is, if you're purchasing it for the Kindle, this is the cover you are going to see. So this is like, and this is what I love to show people, because a lot of the category romances, you wouldn't necessarily know you're reading a category because they've redone the cover. So, you know, one of you may have picked up this book not realizing, oh, it's a Susan Mallery, but it's a Susan Mallery category book originally. So yeah, I have not read this one yet. Don't know anything about it. I do really like the new cover, to be honest. I like the old cover too, because I'm a sucker for those throwback covers, but the new one is great as well. Okay, so now let's move on to what I have on my Kobo. So what you're going to notice, it was funny when I was putting this list together. The 5 books I'm going to share with you are all Christmas themed. So you can very much tell that I purchased this book, or purchased my Kindle device, or my Kobo device, excuse me, back in December, like right around the holidays, because I was buying all the holiday books. And they must have had a sale or something like that. So some of these authors I wasn't familiar with, but they all look great. So the first one I have here is Snowflakes on Christmas Street by Ivy Pembroke. I believe this is like a UK chicklet type of book. I love these. You guys know this. Very much looking forward to getting to this one. I have not read any of the rest of the books that I talk about. I have not read them yet. So the next one after that is Christmas at Logfire Cabin by Kathleen Ferguson, an author that I've heard of but I have not read. Again, super, super cute. Again, it was probably on sale and I just wanted to add books to my Kobo. The next one is one I've heard quite a bit about. I've heard a lot of people have read it and they really liked it. And I'm really, really looking forward to getting to it. This was a Kobo exclusive. So the only way that you can buy this book is via Kobo. So either to read on a Kobo app or on a Kobo device that you might have. And that is Wrapped Up in You by Talia Hibbert, which I know a lot of us here in the Romance Booktube community are huge, huge fans of Talia Hibbert. I am included in that. I love her books. So, yeah, I really, really need to get to this one. It's a novella. I should be able to read it very quickly. Maybe I'll do it this summer for Christmas in July. That would be a lot of fun. And then we have Tangled Up in Tinsel by Candis Terry. This is book 3 in the Sunshine Creek Vineyard series. So this is a contemporary romance series. I have not read it. Again, the book was probably on sale, so I went ahead and picked it up. I do love the cover on this one. Really Christmassy. You guys know I am a huge fan of Christmas books. All year round I buy Christmas books, so this one looks great. And last but not least for books on the Kobo for this video, we have One Winter's Night by Kiley Dunbar. This is book 2, pardon me, in the Kelsey Anderson series. Now, I do actually have this one from NetGalley. I haven't gotten to it yet. So I need to do that. I think I bought it because I did not download the Kindle, like, for Neck Alley, and I needed a way to read it, and I saw it on sale for like 99 cents on the Kobo, so I picked it up. A lot of these, and I'm going to be honest, like, if you guys continue to watch these, you're going to see some duplicates that I do own, both like the print or the digital book for either Kindle or Kobo, and I also end up owning the audiobook as well. It happens. I'm trying to stop that, which is why this is kind of helpful, because I'm also cataloging all of these. So that way, when I go to purchase something, it's not, oh, do I own this already? I don't know. I will know, because I will have reference to it. I will have a spreadsheet, believe me. So right now, though, there may be duplicates, especially now that, well, the next set of books I'm going to talk about are the Harlequin books. Chances are, a lot of the time, I may own both a digital copy on gloss of a Harlequin book as well as a physical edition, because I am collecting. This is my collection. I am reading them, but this is also my collection. So even though I own it for I own a digital copy, if I find that book in a used bookstore, I'm going to pick up a copy to add to my collection. And I think a lot of us readers are the same for our own personal book collections. So just so you guys are aware, not that you're going to be like, oh, well, she already talked about that book. So, nothing at all like that. Anyway, on to the books on the Gloss app. So the first one is Brevia Beginning by Michelle Major. Big fan of Michelle Major. This is Brevia, North Carolina, book number 3. It is a Harlequin special edition book number 2340 from June of 2014. So you're going to notice a theme with the next 4 books. They were all published in November of 2014. So clearly I bought them all like the same time. So the next one we have another special edition novel. This is The Soldier's Holiday Homecoming by Judy Duarte. This is book number 3 in the Return to Brighton Valley series. I love the special edition books, you guys. If you've been watching me, you know this. They are some of my absolute favorites. Again, this is from November of 2014. It's a holiday themed book. The last 4 are all holiday themed books. Again, you guys, I love the holiday books. I really do. The next one is Crossfire Christmas by the great Julie Miller. This is book 23 in the Precinct series. Harlequin Intrigue number 1530, and it's again from November of 2014. The Precinct series are just all books set in like a police precinct. You don't have to read these ones necessarily in order. Julie Miller is a fabulous author. I have not got to this one yet, and I need to. I know, I really need to get onto reading the books that I already own. That is a huge thing that I need to do. The next one is Christmas at the Cove by Rachel Brimble. This is book number 4 in the Holding Out for a Hero series, and it is Harlequin Super Romance number 1957 from November of 2014. Special edition and Super Romance, 2 of my favorites. Super Romance no longer exists. The series ended not long after this book came out, maybe another 6 months to a year later. I can't it might have even been a couple of years. It might have been 2016. I don't remember what year Super Romance ended. I'd have to look that up. And I'm curious now as I sit here and talk about it. So I have a very easy way of finding this out. Harlequin Super Romance ended in June of 2018. So it was a couple of years, 2.5 years after this book was brought out, but there were a ton of books in this line. If you love the special edition books, or even the heartwarming books from Harlequin, check out the Super Romance line. Yes, they don't make new ones anymore, but a lot of the old ones are available either at your thrift store, or grab them on the Gloss app, grab them on the Kindle app, whatever you want. Pick them up and read them. They're delightful. And a lot of the authors crossed over from, writing for Super Romance to writing for either heartwarming or for special edition. And the last one that I have here is one that you guys might think is a little odd for me, considering I am not necessarily a paranormal, supernatural type reader. And I have here Jingle Spells. And this is by Vicki Thompson, Rhonda Nelson, Kira Sinclair, and Andrea Laurence. This is a Harlequin Nocturne novel, number 195 from November of 2014. Now, again, this is like a more paranormal, this is their more paranormal series that they did. But the reason I bought it is because I know for sure that 3 out of those 4 authors, Vicki Thompson, Rhonda Nelson, and Kira Sinclair, all wrote for the Blaze line. So these are going to be like kind of paranormal blazes, I guess. And I own this book physically, and it is huge. It's like thick. Because it's 4 stories in one. And yeah, and they're all holiday themed, which just, it's like tick, tick, tick for me. Blaze authors, an anthology, Christmas, I'm down. I want to check it out. So, I hope to get to this one. Maybe I'll try for it this Christmas. We shall see. But anyway, there is this one too. And then the last group of books that I want to share with you are audiobooks. I've got 5 audiobooks to share with you guys. So essentially, this is from an app, and I'm going to go through this app, the books I have on this app first, and then I'm going to go to my Audible app. And this is called Chirp. For those of you who are audiobook readers, if you have not heard of Chirp, I highly recommend that you check them out. This is not a sales pitch by any means, but I do have a code that has been in every video for probably the last year and a half. So check out below for 20% off. Essentially what Chirp is, it's kind of like BookBub in a way for audiobooks. So they have audiobooks that go on sale, and you have to listen to them through their app. The app is great. I've used their app to listen to books before. But you can pick up audiobooks for like $1.99, 99 cents. And these are like big name books. These are not like necessarily like, oh, I haven't heard of that book. You might get lucky. So every day I get an email saying, oh, here's the new deals over at Chirp. And the deals typically last, like, it's not like it's a day, like, oh, you have to buy it that day. You do have time. Sometimes they last 15 days, sometimes 30 days, but it's really, really great. I have bought some fabulous, fabulous books, so I thought I would share this with you guys. And again, I don't think I get anything for this. This is not a sales pitch, but if you want 20% off, if you're an audiobook listener, go ahead and check it out. So the first book I want to share for all of you who are participating in March Mystery Madness, there's Murder Afoot by Vicki Delaney. This is book number 5 in the Sherlock Holmes Bookshop Mystery Series. I have not read any in this series yet, but I saw this one come up on Chirp for sale, and I immediately grabbed a copy. Looks adorable. I love the dog wearing the Sherlock Holmes hat on the cover. Just charming. Absolute charming. The next one is The Duke of Daring by Darcy Burke. This is book number 2 in the Untouchable series. This is a Regency romance novel. I've read Darcy Burke many years ago, but it's been a while. Again, I saw this one, picked it up. When an audiobook is like $1.99, you can't say no to that because that's often cheaper than the Kindle edition. You know what I mean? Next one, I picked this one up solely because it's a firefighter romance, and I do love a good firefighter romance. We have Brave the Heat by Sarah Humphries. This is book number 1 in the Maguire Brothers series, so it's a small town contemporary romance series. Now, these books are probably not on sale anymore. Like, that's something I should have mentioned way at the beginning because I bought these years ago. But at least you can check them out to see for yourself whether they look interesting or not. The next one, again, as I said, there's often some bigger name books on this. Stealing Home by Cheryl Woods. This is the first book in the Sweet Magnolia series. For those of you who are watching the Sweet Magnolia series on Netflix, I think, I have not read it. I have not listened to it yet. I did read this book years and years and years ago, but I wanted to reread it, and I couldn't. I think I had borrowed, I don't remember, I had a physical copy of the first book. And then I saw this come up on Chirp, and I'm like, okay, I think it was $2.99. I'll pick up the audiobook. And it's a great small town contemporary romance series. I'm a huge fan of Cheryl Woods. I refer to her as one of my holy trinity, along with Susan Mallery, who I mentioned already here. So Susan Mallery, Cheryl Woods, Susan Wiggs, they were like the 3 big authors that really got me into reading romance. Big fan of Cheryl Woods if you have not checked her out yet. And the very last book I want to mention in this video is Embracing Her Heart by Melissa Foster. Now, I've talked about Melissa Foster before, that she's a touch-and-go author for me. I find her books can be a little on the extra spicy side for me, but it's fine. She does this. The reason I like her, though, is because she does... Sorry, I keep looking at something out the window. She does this long-running series called Love in Bloom. So it started out with this trilogy of books, and it has now expanded. And you get like cousins of friends of this, of that. So she literally on her website has a like spreadsheet type situation that you can print out or copy and check off the books like as you read them in order. It's very interesting. So I'm slowly picking up her books. They're often on sale, you know, for like 99 cents. Not just the audio, like not just the ebooks, but oftentimes the audiobooks. And I grabbed one of her audiobooks. So I got Embracing Her Heart by Melissa Foster, as I already said. And this is book number 1 in the Braden's and Montgomery's Pleasant Hill Oak Falls series. So, I mean, it's just like, it's this series to this series to this series to this series. Like, but in my opinion, I think that they are all standalone contemporary romances. Each one follows a different couple. You know, so do with it as you will. If you like your romance books a little bit higher heat, these ones are really good. I think my biggest issue that I had with Melissa Foster, she also writes under a pen name. Addison Cole, is that what it is? And she rewrote some of her books, calling them Sweet with Heat. So essentially, she took out the really, really graphic parts of the love scenes and took out the swearing. But it's still, you still get that heat. And I think that was my big issue, that to me, to put the word sweet means that it's the heat level is gone, but there was a heat level. It's just the explicit parts, the very explicit parts were taken out. So anyway, that's a story for another day. I will get to those books because I did buy a bunch of them because the covers just delight me. So at some point down the line, we will talk about those books. But if you're interested to check them out now, again, her name is Addison Cole. That's the pen name. You can check them out. The covers are delightful. They'd be perfect summertime reads. Anyway, guys, I've rambled enough in this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below. Like, I will continue doing these as long as you guys want me to. I think it's just kind of fun to talk about some older books. And yeah. Oh, and in case anyone is curious, so like I mentioned, my Gloss app is on my Kindle Fire. I do own the new Paperwhite. This is the Paperwhite, the new one that came out for 2021. So yeah, I am starting today. The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. I'm very excited about that one. So yeah, so this is the newer Paperwhite, and I absolutely love it. And then my Kobo, if anyone is curious, is the Clara. I just got the most basic. I think this one was less than $100. I absolutely love it. It's the perfect size. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Let me just go back to my home screen here. So yeah, I think that this is just an absolutely great little device. I love it. It's fantastic. I have no complaints about it. So anyway, I've rambled. I'm hoping to get some more videos filmed this weekend. And then also, of course, I'm vlogging still. So I hope that this is getting me back into a more normal booktube routine because I have missed talking to you guys. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.